What's going on, Royal Alliance, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront DLC concept art type video. Now, in today's video, we will be going over some fan-made Star Wars Rebels potential DLC for the current Star Wars Battlefront. Now, before we get fully into it, I must, fully state that these are fan-made. I made them myself. Star Wars Rebels is in no way confirmed to come to Star Wars Battlefront at any point. These are just kind of ideas in case it did come to Star Wars Battlefront. This would kind of be what it would look like. But again, this is not confirmed. It hasn't even been mentioned, I don't think. So there is no reason to think that Rebels will come to Star Wars Battlefront. So what I've done this time is I have only made hero concept art. I've made one for the Rebel Alliance, one for the Galactic Empire, and I've also went ahead and made a vehicle hero concept art because there is one particular main vehicle in Star Wars Rebels that everybody seems to love, and that could definitely be used in Star Wars Battlefront if EA DICE were to, choose to do so. So to start off, for the Rebel Alliance side, the hero I thought would be Ezra Bridger. Now, the reason I've chose him is because he seems like one of the main characters for Star Wars Rebels. I have watched Star Wars Rebels, and he obviously is in it a lot. And with him being a Jedi, I would kind of like to see more Jedi come to Star Wars Battlefront. I think Luke Skywalker is great, but I feel like we could do with more Jedi in the game. So Ezra Bridger would be a perfect fit. Now, his abilities are Stun Shot, Meditation, and Spinning Strike. For the first ability, Stun Shot, in the first and I think the second season of Star Wars Rebels, Ezra actually fires stun blaster bolts off a slingshot on his arm. I know this image is of Ezra from season 3 of Star Wars Rebels because I'm not really sure which season you would bring Ezra Bridger from. Would you bring him from season 2 where he still uses his sort of slingshot and blasters and also his lightsaber? Or would you bring him from season 3 where he seems like a more trained Jedi, he has his green lightsaber and a few more force abilities? I've went with kind of a mix. And obviously the stun shot would weaken stormtroopers. It wouldn't outright kill them, it would take about half of their health off them, stun them so they can't really move very quickly and can't shoot their blaster, allowing him to just basically wreck their lives, to be honest, or anyone else who is in the nearby vicinity. The second ability, which is Meditation, I thought that Ezra could maybe scan the area nearby. He would stand still for this. He would basically go into a mode where he doesn't use any attacks and he can't move. He just sort of stands still, scans the area for enemies, and these enemies would show up for all to see, similar how the scan ping works. But Ezra wouldn't be completely defenseless. Any blaster shots fired at him would just simply disappear while he is in his Jedi meditation state. I don't think it would be fair to let him take damage because he's doing something to benefit his team, and if he was obviously vulnerable for that period of time while he is using his Jedi meditation to scan the nearby area for enemies for everyone to see, it would kind of suck if you were helping everyone else out but you left yourself completely vulnerable for attack, especially if there were enemy heroes nearby. His final ability would be Spinning Strike. This is where Ezra would jump up into the air and land on a certain area of the map close by to him, and also sort of land down, smash on the ground, causing area damage. He wouldn't directly sort of hit any stormtroopers with his lightsaber. He would just literally, like I said, jump up in the air, land back on the ground, but smash down with his lightsaber, causing a bit of a force wave and damaging or killing nearby stormtroopers. None of these abilities are something that we kind of have in Star Wars Battlefront at the moment, so I think adding something like this would add a bit more variety and a bit more excitement to the gameplay, and also seeing another Jedi in the game would be pretty great. I'd be pretty pumped for that, to be honest with you. For the Galactic Empire, I have chosen the hero or villain, depending on which way you look at it, of Admiral THRAWN, and his abilities are Student of War, Enhanced Training, and Skilled Commander. For the Student of War ability, when this is activated, Grand Admiral THRAWN would have his defense up and damage up. Now, this would increase over a period of time depending on how many kills THRAWN actually gets. The more kills THRAWN gets, the more his armor increases and the more damage he actually does. If he doesn't kill that many within a short space of time, he could maybe take a bit of a damage to health and his blaster damage would go back to normal. For his Enhanced Training ability, what I thought was he wouldn't have necessarily a specific type of trooper spawn on him, but when he activates this, any spawn troopers who die could use THRAWN as a spawn point, and when they spawn on THRAWN, they would have increased health and damage for a short period of time. This wouldn't last very long though. I'd say this would only last about 30 seconds or so, so they could help Thrawn out, kill any enemies nearby. They would have obviously buffed health, so they wouldn't die as quickly, but they also wouldn't have that for a long period of time, so you would only have a sort of short boost of your stats if you spawned on Thrawn, which would help Thrawn out if he was surrounded by enemies, and it would also give you a spawn point further up in the maps, closer to enemies, but it wouldn't mean you are killed straight away as soon as you spawn. For his skilled commander ability, Thrawn could boost his allies' morale, which could increase nearby friendlies' movement speed by up to 25%, and would also up your armor by about 25% as well. So this meant if you are nearby Thrawn when he is attacking enemies and he activates his ability, it would give you an extra boost of speed and a little bit more armor or health, so that you could help him take out any nearby enemies. In a way, Thrawn would act as a sort of support hero similar to Palpatine and Leia, who are already in the game, but he wouldn't sort of bring as much into the fight. He would just kind of up everyone's stats around him, rather than having special troopers spawn on him and things like that who have a lot more health and deal a lot more damage. He would just help boost normal troopers' basically stats. For the vehicle which I thought could come with the Rebels DLC if it ever were to happen is obviously the Ghost, and that would be on the side of the Rebel Alliance. Now the abilities for the Ghost are Chopper Gunner, Deflector Shields and Phantom Support. These are pretty self-explanatory to be honest. Chopper Gunner would be simply where Chopper, the droid from Star Wars Rebels, would take control of one of the turrets of the Ghost and would help you destroy enemy starfighters behind you or to your sides. It would leave you to shoot at any starfighters in front of you. It wouldn't give you all-round support, but it would help keep Imperials off your back. The second ability is Deflector Shields. Now Deflector Shields would just be a shield which covers the whole ship. It would stop you firing though. You yourself wouldn't be able to fire, but if you had the Chopper Gunner activated at the same time, Chopper would still be able to fire the turrets. You just wouldn't be able to control your front-facing turret, and any shots that were fired at you would simply bounce off and could potentially hit any enemy starfighters nearby. For Phantom Support, I thought we could have the Phantom, which is on the back of the Ghost, actually deploy itself and be controlled by the AI, similar to how the B-Wings and Y-Wings work currently in Star Wars Battlefront, helping you take down any Imperials that are causing you any trouble. So that is the first video on the concept art that I made for Star Wars Rebels DLC, if it ever were to happen. Like I said at the start of the video, there is no evidence at all to point towards the fact that a Star Wars Rebels DLC would ever come to Star Wars Battlefront. This is just purely speculation. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about part 1 of the Rebels DLC concept art, and make sure to smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to join the Aurora Alliance and be kept up to date with all things Star Wars, especially Star Wars gaming. Other than that, may the Force be with you.